Shalom, shalom everyone. In this video, we will discuss the first chapter of the book of Proverbs and the differences that I found. In the book of Proverbs, I've noticed there is added understanding, but I would like to show why I say that. In the KJV, it reads, in Proverbs Chapter 1, verse 7, "The fear of Yah is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction." Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to break down this whole verse. Almost all the words are going to be broken down. We're going to look at it in a concordance. So starting off with fear, due to it being the same in both the Greek and the Hebrew, I'm going to read it from the Greek. The Greek concordance number is 5401, and the word is phobos. It means panic, flight, fear, the causing of fear or terror. The usage is fear, terror, alarm, the object of the cause of fear, reverence, and respect. The NASB translation or translations are cause of fear, fear, fearful, fears, intimidation, respect, respectful, reverence, and sense of awe. So just to start off, what we have now is the reverence or the fear, as in actual fear, of Yah. But let's go to the word beginning. To the word knowledge. The word knowledge is 1847 in the Hebrew Concordance, da'ath. The definition is knowledge. NASB translations are concern, know, knowledge, premeditation, skill, truth, unintentionally, and what? The Strong's Exhaustive Concordance reads, cunning, ignorantly, knowledge, unawares, wittingly. From yada, knowledge, cunning, ignorantly, knowledge, unawares, wittingly. Let's go to this root word, yada. It means to know. The NASB translations, for the most part, is ability, acknowledge, acknowledged, acquaintances, acquainted, aware, becomes known, bring forth, cared, chosen, clearly understand, cohabit, comprehend, concern, concerned, consider, declare, detected, directed. So I just wanted to hit on this knowledge portion just a little bit more and tap on a few other scriptures, which is Genesis 3 and 22. And it reads, "And Yah Elohim said, Behold, the man is become as one of us, to know good and evil. And now, lest he put forth his hand, and take also of the tree of life, and eat, and live forever." As we can see here, it's also saying to know good and evil, which is the root word of knowledge. So he had this intimate acquaintance with understanding or knowing good and evil. But let's go to Genesis 19 just to look at how it is also still an intimate acquaintance. Genesis 19:5 reads, "And they called unto Lot, and said unto him, Where are the men which came in to thee this night? Bring them out, that we may know them." Now, we can say, okay, so we can acknowledge them, so we can say hello, but it's talking about an intimate type encounter with them. But once we go to 19 and 8, Lot's like, "Behold, I have 2 daughters which have not known men. I'll bring them out, so that you may do to them whatever you feel good in your eyes." So it says they have not known man, which says they have not had an intimate encounter with man. But let's look at one more verse, which is in 1 John chapter 2, 3 and 4. And it says, "And hereby we do know that we know him, if we keep his commandments. He that saith, I know him, and keep not his commandments, is a liar, and the truth is not in him." So we see this also as an intimate relationship. We have someone who say that they have an intimate relationship with him and doesn't keep his commandments is a liar. So basically what it's saying is the reverence of Yahuwah is the beginning of an intimate relationship or knowing him. The word wisdom is 2451. It is chakma, which the NASB translation has as skill, wisdom, wisely, and wits. From looking at the Strong's Exhaustive Concordance, it's the same as what the NASB is. The word instructions is 4148, which is musar. The definition, discipline, chastening, and correction. The NASB translation usually has it as chastening, chastise, correction, discipline, disciplines, instruction, punishment, reproof, and warning. The Strong's Exhaustive Concordance has bond, chasteneth, chastisement, check, correction, discipline. From yakar properly, chastisement figuratively, reproof, warning, or instruction. Also restraint, bond, chastening, chastisement, check, correction, discipline, doctrine, instruction, and rebuke. So when we go back to Proverbs 1, verse 7 in the KJV, its understanding is the reverence of Yahuwah is the beginning of an intimate relationship or knowing him. But a fool will despise skill and proper instruction. I liken that to a man who gets a bookshelf or gets any type of anything that it requires to build, and it gives instructions, and he looks at it and says, no, I know how to put it together, and he knows nothing about putting it together, and he tries, and at the end he puts it together, but he has 5 bolts that are not connected. That makes him, I would say, a fool. Or the person who looks at a bottle of any type of poison, whether it be Clorox or anything that could possibly be a poison, and doesn't read the warning label, or they disregard the warning label. After it's giving you proper warning, this is what you use it for, this is what you don't use it for. This is what happens if you actually use it for what I told you not to use it for. But let's go on to the Septuagint. This is what it reads in Proverbs 1, verse 7. The fear of Yah is the beginning of wisdom, and there is good understanding to all that practice it. And piety toward Elohim is the beginning of discernment. But the ungodly will set at naught wisdom and instruction. So at first glance, it seems like it's saying the same thing, especially once it says, but the ungodly, and it goes on to, say the same thing that the end of the KJV says, but it's a little different at the beginning. Once we go back, we see the fear of Yah is the beginning of wisdom. But we already saw that wisdom was different from knowledge. In 4, 6, 7, 8, in the Greek concordance, this word for wisdom is Sophia. I like that name. The usage is wisdom, insight, skill, human, or divine intelligence. As you can see in the Helps Word Studies, Sophia is the root word for English terms such as sophistication and philosophy. The NAS Exhaustive Concordance says the translations usually are cleverness, learning, and wisdom. The Strong's Exhaustive Concordance says it is wisdom from Sophos, wisdom higher or lower, worldly or spiritual wisdom. So from what we have so far, it's saying the reverence of Yah is the beginning of divine insight. It continues to say, and there is good understanding to those who practice it. But let's look at that word understanding. That word understanding is 4907. Sunnis. The definition, a running together or understanding. The usage is putting together in mind, hence understanding, practical discernment, and intellect. The word help study says is properly facts joined together for holistic understanding, synthesized reasoning that joins implicit, indirect truths for comprehension. For the believer, this connects the dots through sanctified, inductive reasoning done under Elohim. The NAS exhaustive concordance says the definition a running together or understanding. The NASB translations has it as cleverness, insight, and understanding. The Strong's exhaustive concordance reads knowledge and understanding from Sonaimi, a mental putting together, i.e. intellect or concretely the intellect, knowledge and understanding. So it's saying reverence towards Yah is the beginning of divine insight, and there is good ability to put things together to those who practice it. This part is the added part. And piety toward Elohim is the beginning of discernment. But let's check out that word piety. The number is 2150, Yusavia, piety. Usage is piety towards Elohim, godliness, quote fingers, devotion, and godliness, quote fingers. The Helps Word Studies says it's to venerate or pay homage, properly someone's inner response to the things of Elohim, which shows itself in godly piety or reverence. The Strong's Exhaustive Concordance says godliness or holiness. From Yosabes, or Eusebes, piety, especially the gospel scheme, godliness and holiness. But let's go to that root word, which is 2152. The definition is pious. The word is Yosebes. Usage, pious, God-fearing or Elohim-fearing, or devout. The words Help Studies says devout, respectful, to showing due reverence. The NAS Exhaustive Concordance says the NASB translation is devout man, or godly. The Strong's Exhaustive Concordance reads devout or godly, from you or Sebea or Sobomai, well reverent, i.e. pious, devout, or godly. Well, let's go directly to the next word, which is discernment, which is 144 in the Greek text, or in the Greek concordance, which is the definition: perception, usage, perception, understanding, and discernment. The Helps Word Studies says it's a feminine noun, properly the brand of sense discernment which cuts through hazy ethical, moral matters to really size things up. The Strong's Exhaustive Concordance says perception or discernment. From esthenomai, perception, i.e. figuratively discernment and judgment. So here I'm going to go ahead and read through the whole thing. Reverence towards Yah is the beginning of divine insight, and there is a good ability to put things together to those who practice it. And devout inner reverence towards Elohim is the beginning of being able to properly divide the word of truth. But the ungodly or impious will set at naught wisdom and instruction. This reminds me of a few different instances in the Brit Hadashah where it speaks of Cornelius and Ananias. In Acts chapter 10, verse 1 and 2, it reads, there was a certain man in Caesarea called Cornelius, a centurion of the band called the Italian band, a devout man, and one that feared Elohim with all his house, which gave much alms to the people, and prayed to Elohim always. So as it goes on and continues, it's going to talk about how he saw in a vision that he should go to Kepha, and they ended up meeting, and the Most High gave him an impartation due to his devout lifestyle. And then once we go to chapter 9, it speaks of Ananias, someone who was sent to Shaul. But it goes on in Acts chapter 22, in verse 12, and Shaul is talking about Ananias, and it says, "In one Ananias, a devout man according to the law, having a good report of all the Yehudi which dwell there." So both of those talk about devout men and the different things that the Most High did through these devout men. Last difference that I saw within Proverbs chapter 1 was in verse 22. And it reads, "How long, ye simple ones, will you love simplicity? And the scorners delight in their scorning. And fools hate knowledge. Turn you at my reproof. Behold, I will pour out my ruach unto you. I will make known my words unto you." Now that sounds not any. I can't take anything from it because it's wisdom of saying, turn away from your wicked ways, away from being scofful, and away from being simple-minded. Let's check out the word simple in the Hebrew. It is 6612. It's pethi. Petty. Simple, perhaps open-minded. The Strong's Exhaustive Concordance says foolish, simplicity, or one. Pethi, or patawi, from patath, silly, i.e. seducible, foolish, simple, simplicity, or simple one. So just go over it. How long will you silly or stupid ones love your stupidity or your silliness? The Hebrew word for scorner is 3887. It is lutz. Definition: ambassador, having derision. Interpreter, to make a mock or a mocker. The Strong's Exhaustive Concordance says ambassador, having derision. Interpreter, make a mock or mocker. A primitive root properly to make mouths at, i.e. to scoff, hence from the effort to pronounce a foreign language, to interpret or generally intercede. Ambassador, having derision. Interpreter, make a mock, mocker, scorner, scornful, and teacher. So, from what I'm seeing, it says, how long, ye stupid ones, will you love your stupidity? And you mockers delight in your mocking. And fools hate knowledge. Or fools hate knowing, as we already have gone over. Turn you at my reproof. We've seen earlier that reproof was also instructions or correction. So it's saying, turn at my correction. Behold, I will pour out my ruach unto you. I will make known, to know, my words unto you. But let's check out the Septuagint. It reads, so long as the simple cleave to justice, they shall not be ashamed. But the foolish, being lovers of haughtiness, having become ungodly, have hated knowledge, and are become subject to reproofs. Behold, I will bring forth to you the utterance of my breath, and I will instruct you in my speech. So, at the end, once again, it sounds similar to it, but the beginning is different. Let's start at the beginning. So long as the simple cleave to justice. Let's look at the word simple. It is 172, akakos, guileless, innocent, simple. The Helps Word Study says properly, not harmful, describing someone's innocent, down to their very intentions and motives, i.e. person without any desire to hurt. The NAS Exhaustive Concordance says guileless, innocent, unsuspecting. The Strong's Exhaustive Concordance says harmless, simple, innocent from A as a negative particle in kakos, not bad, i.e. objectively, innocent or subjectively, unsuspecting, harmless and simple. So from what I'm seeing, there's two different simples being used here. One as being foolish and the one as being innocent. But it says so long as the innocent cleave to justice, they shall not be ashamed. But the foolish, being lovers of pride, having been impious, have hated knowledge. So it's saying that a fool hates knowledge and loves pride. They love to lift themselves up and won't accept anything else. But it goes on to say, and are become subject to reproofs. To become subject is to become underneath. So they become subject unto the instructions that we spoke of before, or corrections. It continues in verse 23, behold, I will bring forth to you the utterance of my breath, and I will instruct you with my speech. Alright guys, that's all I have for this video. There's plenty of other scriptures that I want to bring out. Let me know what you guys think of this video. Please leave things in the comments. Like, share. Shalom.